Hey guys, welcome to the SimRacingPaddock. I'm William Marsh, and after this Memorial Day weekend, I wanted to give gRally a second chance. So, in my first stream taking a look at gRally, I was very underwhelmed and felt that the controller mapping system was a bit of a mess. So now, I wanted to launch up gRally again. There have been a couple updates since then. I think what I was trying before was version 1.0.1. Now they're on like version 1.0.4 or something like that. And antivirus kicked in. Hold on. No problems found. Okay, that's good. No hidden viruses in gRally. Confirmed. So we can fire it up. It should just launch. There we go. But yeah, so in my original watch through of this, it was like you saw a lot of issues with controller configurations. It looks like now they improved some stuff, especially in version 1.023. Auto centered the wheel at startup. I think that was one of the big issues we had, where it tried to rip the wheel out of my hands at the beginning. And then it looks like, let's see, graphics improved. And not too much, at least. Don't need a link with my Steam account right now. So I'll show you one thing I had to do in configuration, though, to get it properly working. So if you notice on the steering wheel, you see the green to mark maximum left and red to mark like minimum or left isn't there. That's because what I noticed is that if you have the wheel set to straight, you can see the white strip there. That's when the red shows. So it's not truly indicative of what's going on. So it would be that it sees your center point as left. So you have to turn all the way left and hit left and have that red disappear. So weird way to have it, but at least it works. So I'm just going to set my sequential shifter to shift up and down. There we go. Handbrake map properly. And for all the other things, pedals, handbrake and everything, you see the red line there, and that's normal. So at least we got to the bottom of that, and it's sort of working all right. Hold on. There we go. So we'll do the rear-wheel drive car, and let's take a look. Apollo Victoria, well, at the very least, the steering, I got down to the bottom of that issue, which I was just talking about. So let's find out how the driving is. So let's see, I set degrees of rotation to 900 to match in-game, and then I turned down force feedback in SimuCube to 60%, and hold on a sec. gRally Sim, there we go. Why does Steam VR always want to boot, though? I don't have any VR plugged in. So this is procedurally generated, I guess? Wreckfest is the same for wheel centering. Yeah, I had that issue at first where in Wreckfest I had to hold it about 45 degrees, but now you can see it's pretty well one-to-one. Hold on a second. Let's check something real quick. Oh, I have audio through my main speakers. One sec. That means I don't need these on. So sound. Too much sound, but we have sound. There we go. Let's do that. That should be proper sound level. So, I have very low force feedback. It still seems like the force feedback is kind of bugged. I accidentally just turned on the tire measurements, but let's keep that on. Let's keep it interesting. So, note that you do have to press and release your handbrake. Like that. And then you can go. So frame rate is still horrible. I think that might be the... No, that's not the frame rate on the top right.
Minus opens 18.
So this is still very, very, very unoptimized.
Minus opens 18. 4 left 20.
Very, very strong force feedback too. I mean,
5
insanely strong. I'm going to turn it down even further in SimiCube. Okay. Let's try that out. But yeah, this is stuttering right now. Hold on a sec. Is there a reset car button? Or is it expecting me to climb up like this? I have no clue. Let's look left, look right at the non-existent co-driver. Because if we go here, it's just replay, I guess, or something like that. So let's jump out and jump back in. But I want to do something real quick. Because it's not visually that great in the first place, I'm going to turn down the settings to see if I can squeak more performance out. Because that was very, very stuttery. We don't really need HDR. We'll do medium. So yeah, it looks like this is still medium settings, and with my 1080, it's struggling. Let's try this out, though. So it looks like this is procedurally generated. I don't know if this is something that it'll be procedurally generated each time you load, similar to getting new configurations in Dirt 4, or is it just a track that they threw in a track maker procedurally generated, and then they saved this specific configuration? I would like to see more clarification on that. Let's try something real quick, though. I'm going to turn on game capture. See if that brings out a little more performance. There we go. Slightly more. You can see it's slightly smoother.
Two right, minus, and 5 left, minus.
But still very, very stuttery.
Right, minus, and 5 left, minus.
Gives you,
18.
it's very difficult to get an idea on what's going on, and what just happened there? One of my browser screen just went out. There we go, it's back. Well, let's try to get an idea on the physics, though, because that's, I think, what a lot of you guys are interested in. It feels okay. Force feedback,
20.
over strength. I don't know why, because I have force feedback in the sim set to like 17%. In the sim, I have it set to like, in SimUcube, I have it set to like 10%. So there's no real reason why it should be like struggling this much. I mean, yeah, force, 17%. Let's turn this down. Bump, let's try 0.4. Maybe that will make it feel a little better. Let me see if I can find a way to reset the car. R does nothing. W's wipers. Okay, it doesn't look like it's a different course than what we did before. Okay, let's try third time the charm. What's this slider for, though? Huh. I wonder what this slider is for. You can't move it or anything. But yeah, pace notes default. Let's switch to the other pace note guy. So that's Jordan Murphy. Then we also have Noel O'Sullivan. Or O'Sullivan. Hey, Addy, hope you enjoyed that that podcast I actually got to be a part of. It was pretty cool. My first time ever doing something like that. So, if you guys don't know, yesterday, or no, not yesterday, on Sunday, I actually filmed a podcast with Mike from SimRacing604, and I think it's Alex of, I forget what channel. But yeah, it's called Sim Racing Perspectives. If you go, I think it's to SimRacing604's channel, or if you decide you want to actually listen to it in podcast form, we have, like, they have it on a both Google Play and iTunes. So yeah, that's live today. So if you want to hear me talk about random stuff in sim racing, you can check that out.
2 right minus and 5 left minus open 80. 2 right minus and 5 left minus
so
opens.
It's
80,
amazing.
4 left.
Just
20.
totally. This is almost like medium settings. It looks like
5
dirt
right 20
on low settings, but still it's
6 right
stuttering.
minus 30.
Man,
1 left long and 2 right plus.
I can imagine when this is polished,
50.
if they bring in co-drivers with more energy, this would be so much better. I mean, force feedback is okay. Force feedback is tolerable. But that's just about the only thing that is tolerable right now.
Long, 30.
I should not be getting like frame stutters like this with a GTX 1080. But I mean, this track has
100.
good potential. A log cabin, you don't really see that much.
5 right long open 20.
And it looks like there's decent scenery and decent foliage. You can tell this is a Unity-based title with the way everything's popping in.
6 left open 70.
That tends to feel like a trait of Unity, the way it's all
6 left plus
popping
open
in.
and hairpin left
compared
20.
to other titles, the way they handle popping. And thank you to whoever it was that subscribed. Why is that not popping up? Huh. Well, thank you, Marcinator, for subscribing. Did we get trapped? Nope, there we go. But we might be trapped. Looks like we're dead. Boom. Going through trees, I guess. Yep. There needs to be physical qualities for these trees. Even though they're off the beaten path, they need to have a physical quality to them. You need to be able to collide with them. I know I'm getting a little nitpicky, but still, they're freaking trees. So let's take it a little simpler right now. Let's go to gRally jump. And for the heck of it, let's take the front wheel drive car. And we'll take this for a test drive, because why not? But yeah, actually being able to drive it with the intended degrees of rotation, that's a major benefit. But at the same time, they need to improve so much. So this is a general front wheel drive car, I guess.
2 left, long.
It's going to be interesting
into,
because in
dirty,
early promo
50.
shots, we saw, I believe it was the Lancia
2
Stratos
left,
and
long,
possibly the
open,
Lancia
into,
Delta.
dirty, 50.
So are those going to be coming to the sim, or were they just for promo shots? But this sim needs to get into a place where it's worthy of that kind of car.
3 left.
Handbrake
70.
feels a little too touchy almost. But also this is a front wheel drive car. So Lumos, what I was talking about
3 left.
or actually
minus,
would not
long,
map whatsoever.
open, 70.
I had that same issue with my CSL Elite when I tested this. So off camera and everything, I tested out my CSL
70.
Elite with this, and I could not get it to be recognized in gRally. It could be
1 left,
recognized in
100.
every other sim, but not this.
Jump 50.
Videos of dupes playing the closed beta over a year ago, and it looks 10 times better than the public release.
4 left, open.
I'd believe
and
it.
Caution.
From
and
all the footage I saw before this, it was like actually looked good.
4
But now
left,
this,
long, 200.
this is totally
Two
not
left,
representative
long,
of the
open,
previous we
into,
got.
dirty, 50.
Huh, Lumos, that's strange. So handbrake, might have done a little too hard pull there.
Two right plus 20.
Yeah, Shin, I know a couple
Three left,
teams
plus
have already
70.
done co-driver mods for this.
3 left minus long open 70.
This somewhat looks console-ish. This looks maybe PS3-ish. I'd call it that. Like early PS3, like 2006, 2007.
Jump stay right 70.
So, let's try this jump out. Do we feel the car getting light over the
1
jump?
left 100.
Yes, we do. That's good at least. And then hitting the wall, not so
Jump
good.
50.
But yeah, feeling the steering get light over the crest slash jump, that's a good feeling.
4 left open.
That
and
didn't feel
caution,
as
and
good, actually. That did not feel as good. It felt like the wheel got stuck to the
4
left
left
a bit.
long 200.
But force
2
feedback,
left long open in
it
50,
feels
50.
okay. It feels okay. Doesn't feel great. Feels tolerable.
Two right plus 20.
If you don't
3
flick
left
it to
plus
induce
70.
oversteer, does it always understeer for you? Or
3
no?
left
That's the issue I
minus
always
long
have.
open
So
70.
need a good rally sim these days. Let's check. So we're not flicking. It feels like it does have
Stay
some
right,
lift-off
70.
oversteer element. It feels like it has a lift-off oversteer element.
1 left 100.
But totally understeers
Jump
there on
50.
the brakes. So, interesting. But let's try this jump again.
4 left open.
Okay,
and
that felt slightly
caution,
better than
and
before. But yeah, it feels like this car does have
4
understeery
left
traits. I'll call it that. But lift off oversteer.
over finish. Very good stage.
Very good stage. Show some enthusiasm, man! Let's do a Scandinavian flick with this car. Okay, that worked. But it feels like... I'm going to call it the iRacing effect. Especially with older iRacing. Where it feels like you're just steering, not actually driving. That's one of the things I feel is a little tough. I mean, because with this next generation of sims, and especially force feedback, you're getting that feeling that the car is more connected than ever. For this, it doesn't really feel that connected. It feels like the floatiness. That's what I'd call it. Because I know it's tough to describe, but do you guys understand what I'm talking about? Where it feels like you're... like there's a layer between the tires and the track. That might be one way to put it. And you lose that degree of communication with the car. Which is... it's okay. I mean, in different sims like Grand Prix Legends and, say, older sims, we grew accustomed to it and adapted. But it feels like this sim is really... like embracing that old concept for force feedback and the physics. So it feels less like you're actually driving the car and more just like you're steering, which it's kind of tough. That jump though, that's a fun jump. I wouldn't say it's full shift floaty. I wouldn't say that. There's at least some sense of connection. There's some connection at least, but it's just not at the caliber of other titles that it's competing with now. For the asphalt driving, I'd say it is a hair better than Dirt Rally, because Dirt Rally has some of the worst tarmac force feedback ever. It just is almost non-existent. But in terms of the Dirt Rally and other rally titles really blow it out of the water. But yeah, this... I'm willing to keep following development of this. I'll put it that way. This has potential, but potential is one thing. Realizing potential is another. Let's try something. I was trying to shift the weight forward to try to get it to nosedive on that jump, and it didn't seem like it wanted to. Let's try it again on the next jump. So what I'm trying to do is tap the brake right before the car takes off, which will shift the weight forward in the car, and that means you're able to sort of set the car down in a way. That's what I'm trying to do right now. And seems like this car doesn't really want to do it. But this does feel like a believable front-wheel drive car that's coming from a guy that drives a Volkswagen GTI. But at the same time, it just is tricky. Okay, we can't really get the pitch on that jump. In this car, it's more like a crest than a jump. Okay, so when we hit the jump, I'm gonna tap the brake. And it just doesn't want to pitch down. I don't really understand that. But granted, this is version 0.1 point something. So hopefully we can get things like this addressed. But when I finally got the steering sorted on this, it makes me so much more comfortable with the title. I mean, the frame rate right now is my biggest problem. The visual performance in terms of like actually getting a drivable frame rate, because This feels like maybe like mid 30 frame rates, possibly. They need to get the full 60, especially with this being less hardware intensive than other titles. I just can't get that front end pitch down though. But yeah, so if they get a stable frame rate, maybe a better co-driver, and refine the physics, I see something good here. I could see something good. But ultimately, it will come down to what they're willing to do to change the title. Because, as mentioned, we saw a lot of preview footage that ran well, had some fun cars and fun circuits, but this is not representative of what we were previewed, what we were shown. Where's the Lancia, for example? The mid-engine, rear-wheel drive car. But let's go full throttle. And then, boom. Also, they need a damage model. I will give him credit, though. That smoke effect looks pretty good. That smoke effect looks decent. But all in all, it does need a lot of work to really take advantage of what we have available for Sims in 2018. This is a 2006 title. Or let's put it right now. As it is right now, this feels like a 2009 shovelware title. But there's so much more that can be done with it. Bring in more cars, bring in more tracks, and I could see this being a great title. And then refine the physics, refine everything, basically. I could see this really working well. But ultimately, there is a long way to go for this. There would be a long way to go. And the thing is, at the same time, this is a $4 title right now. So, if you like Rally, I could say maybe $4, and if you can get it set up properly, that's another key. If you could get it set up properly, I could say, hey, $4, what do you have to lose? Like, there's no other way to go but up for this. And if it does go up in quality, then I'd say $4 could get you a good title. But I'd say this is more like an investment. You're not gonna get hours of an enjoyment out of it right now. I would go out on a limb and say that. But for $4 in the future, it's like, really? I could see it doing well. But yeah, guys, I know this is a short preview, but I think it could go well. And oh my gosh, I just realized I had the Sean's birthday stuff up still. My bad. So yeah, a few days ago was Sean Cole's birthday. So yeah, happy belated birthday, Sean. Actually, it was a week ago, I think. But yeah, so guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts on gRally. If you've driven it, let me know your thoughts. And thanks for watching for now. I might try another stream later today, but for now, you guys have a great rest of your day.